Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today. A star of Ex on the Beach and TOWIE, and of course Britain's Got Talent, where she shot to fame, as well as Celebrity Big Brother. McKenna has just released some new singles and a new album on the way. And she's going to be appearing at the Cornbury Music Festival. It's taking place the 13th to the 15th of July. And she'll be appearing on the 14th of July, along with many legends who are appearing at Cornbury this year. And I'm delighted to say Megan joins us on the phone now. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Is it fun being you? I mean, you've only got to put your name into Google and 700 million thousand articles come up, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's always something being wrote about me, but, you just got to take the positives out of that.
Here's where I'm coming from. I'm a 38-year-old man who watches programs like Ex on the Beach because I'm a deeply unattractive fella that wishes I could be you. And I see how you operate and the attention you get. Firstly, congratulations on being beautiful. That must be lovely.
Oh, thank you. I try my best.
Is it tough, though? Because here's the thing. Nobody's judging me. Nobody's looking at me. Nobody's photographing me. There can't be a day when somebody's not following you for some reason, is there?
I mean, I've definitely had a few articles come out when I've looked absolutely terrible at the front of my door. Sometimes I don't know where they are, but I've been walking my dog and, they've caught me picking up her poo and everything like that. So there's not as many glamorous things as everyone thinks. But yeah, no, it's quite hard, I suppose, because you've always got to you've always got to be looking over your shoulder.
Mm. And I guess that is the game, isn't it? If you want to be in the form of show business that you are, where you're sort of getting these endorsements for being beautiful, I suppose the payoff is that the press are going to follow you around and always be interested in you.
Yeah, I think they're always interested to see, if I am going to be walking out my door looking like absolute rubbish.
Do you feel they're trying to catch you out? I mean, is that an element of what you do, that they almost want the bad picture more than the good one?
I say more so the paparazzi want to do that. Obviously, the press just have to write what they get given. But yeah, it has happened quite a lot lately. But then there's some lovely articles that come out, and I think, it's not all bad.
Here's the thing about you. I think you do a lot of the time what I did on radio for 15 years, which is shtick. I think you're doing an act sometimes. Particularly, I got to know you best in Celebrity Big Brother. You love to kick off because it makes great telly. There is an element of theatre in a lot of what you do, isn't there?
I mean, I wish it was an act.
So it's not an act?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I've been in not normal situations what other people would be in. When I was in Big Brother, we had to do tasks where we were very hungry and I get very hangry, and there was alcohol involved, so obviously that led to a bit of a meltdown. But sometimes, the majority of the time, if I do have a little meltdown, it's in my head, it's for a good reason, but because I'm having that meltdown, it just comes out wrong. Do you know what I mean?
So you might have anger issues. I mean, some of those clips, you were literally furious. It's not shtick then. It's not you playing up. You really are that angry in that moment.
Yeah, no, I can't say that was fake because, I think you can tell, can you not?
Well, I don't know. I'm just curious to know how much is you. That's what I'm trying to get to, because I watch you in the videos. Okay, let me put it this way. I watch you as a recording artist. I look at those videos of you doing music, and there's clearly an incredibly talented, beautiful, clever, disciplined person behind the music. So then I see you on the reality shows, and it's a very different person. I suppose in one way you're saying it's two different people, is it? Opposed to one person that's doing this for this side of your career and that for the other?
No, the person you see singing in the videos, on my Nashville show, that is me. That's me all over. But obviously, I'm a young girl. I've had a few meltdowns, and they've kind of been filmed. Whereas other music artists probably have meltdowns too, but obviously they're not being followed by a film crew.
Right.
So, you got to see it in that way. Obviously, it was 3 years ago as well when I had that bad meltdown on nearly 3 years ago on Big Brother, and I was it's a very difficult situation on that show, and you're put in there with people who want to cause arguments and want to wind you up. It's not normal situations.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I'd probably end up killing somebody. I just couldn't bear it. Awful.
So, like, that's obviously the reason why I had that meltdown. But for me as a person, you know, like, my love is music. Like, I've been to theatre school growing up. You know, I've got an amazing group of friends around me and family, and I've always had that around me. But I suppose some of my baddest moments were captured on camera, so I can't really get away from that. But, yeah, obviously, I'm not like that all the time. That is a very, very, very small part of me. Back in the day, you know, that was a few years back now.
Let's go back to the beginning and you as a child. Were you always interested in being a star? I mean, it's interesting that you started off in the business singing. I think your first TV appearance was on BGT in 2009. Is that right? And that was to be a singer as part of Harmony.
Yeah, like, I've always been doing music. Like, growing up, you know, my mum was taking me all over the UK doing auditions, and then, you know, I got into a girl group called Harmony. We got on Britain's Got Talent. It was amazing, and I think that was like my first real taste of like being filmed and knowing that my music was going out to a massive audience. Obviously, I was so young. I was 16, and we kind of just auditioned for that, like messing about. Obviously, I always wanted to do that. I never realised we'd actually make it to the semi-finals. So yes, ever since that moment, you know, like, I've kind of been in and out of girl bands, and I just think a lot of people don't realise that I've been doing it my whole life. It hasn't just, you know, suddenly popped up that I want to do country music. Like, I've always loved it, and I've always been doing it. It's just always been behind closed doors.
Well, that's what's interesting. When Sasha sent me the press release about the Cornbury Festival, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I Googled you as a musician, and then there were these incredible clips of this wonderful, soulful voice, taking it incredibly seriously. And let's not be under any delusion. This isn't a Katie Price bit of shtick where you're trying to get publicity. This is what you've done your entire life, and you're incredibly serious about this, aren't you?
Yeah, this is something I've always wanted to do. You know, like, the reality TV side wasn't what I wanted to do. It kind of just come up, and I've always been doing my singing, but, you know, now I've got the chance to actually focus on my singing and put the TV to the side for a while. It's like, obviously, that's what makes me happiest.
Are you embarrassed or ashamed by any of the TV, or do you embrace it and say, well, that was a part of my life and now we move on to something else?
Obviously, like, I'm not proud of, you know, the meltdowns, but at the end of the day, any normal girl, you know, like early 20s, who's, you know, been through breakups in the press and put in situations like that, in difficult situations, I think any girl can relate to that, and I think that's why I have a lot of my followers are young girls, and they do look up to me. As, you know, a lot of the times I've had these meltdowns, they might look bad for a second, but when you actually look into it and listen to the situation, what's going on, why the meltdown happened, it's for a good cause. It was for me actually, you know, sticking up for someone. It was for me telling someone, don't speak about someone behind their back. I'm a very loyal friend, loyal girlfriend, and I've come from a very good background with my family, so it's all from a good place. It just, maybe there was just a bit too much alcohol involved.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? And then we look at the confines of Big Brother and those types of programs, and even X on the Beach, and I presume TOWIE as well. They're putting you in situations to create drama. Drama is where the ratings come, and we must remember this is entertainment. They might sort of distance themselves for it when it goes wrong, but they are making entertainments for ratings, aren't they? And that's what you give them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not normal situations, you know, like when you break up with someone or fall out with a group of friends, you don't have to see them, do you? But when, you know, you are filming a TV show, you have to see them every day, so it's going to cause drama.
Let's talk about you physically, because we watched this program on ITV with my mate Colleen Nolan the other week, and it was another side of you, again, that we hadn't seen, this vulnerable side and this insecure side, and I'm always fascinated to talk to really hot people who don't get it. Do you think you're attractive?
I don't think I'm like, I don't know how to put it, like, ugly, but I wouldn't say I'm like, I would never ever like look at myself and think, oh my God, you look amazing. I'm always picking faults at myself, and I think, I don't know, maybe if that's me being in the press, and, you know, people do pick at me, you know, they say, oh, I've got small boobs, or, oh, my lips look awful, or, you know, they're constantly picking things at me. So for me, I don't know, like I've never been actually that confident. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love to do a selfie on Instagram and everything like that, and I love to go out with my girls and get glammed up, but trust me, if you ask anybody that knows me, all I do is pick faults in myself. All I do is say I'm never happy with you know, the way my face is looking today, or the way I've done my makeup. So I think, I think that's why people were a little bit shocked at the way I was on that show. Like, once again, like that is just me being me. Like, I'm just like a normal girl that picks faults in herself, and I can be insecure.
It bothers me that, because you've got so much to live for. You're incredibly talented, and I think I'm going to put that number one as a musician. That's what I like about you the most. You're incredibly talented and disciplined at that. But you are also beautiful, and the fact that you're beating yourself up seems such a waste of energy. Can you get help for that, or are you getting help? Because you should embrace the fact that you're so privileged and so lucky and so gifted, both naturally and in talent.
I mean, I think that's like one of the reasons why I done the full Monty. Obviously, you know, the first reason was I wanted to raise awareness, and I wanted to do it for my granddad as he passed away with cancer. So I just wanted to do it for that. But the second thing was to kind of give myself that, you know, that challenge. Like, I am so insecure with like just stripping down naked in front of my friends. It's ridiculous. Like, some of my friends that probably kill me for saying this, like walk around, you know, my house naked. And I've always been that girl that's always kind of like, you know, put some pajamas on or something like that. But doing the full Monty and actually just exposing myself like that, and being around people and seeing that like everybody is the same, just a little bit different, you know. So I just think that it has helped me a bit, definitely. It's definitely like boosted my confidence.
Because it was curious that people like Ruth Maddock, who was one of the oldest in the group, had the most confidence and couldn't give a shit. It was fascinating, wasn't it, that she was the first to just take her top off, couldn't care less, take me for what I am. I wish I had that confidence. That's amazing.
No, I wish I do too. I think what the difference is between me and Ruth is obviously, you know, I'm in this era where everything is so put out on social media, the trolling. I think I'd say I'm probably out of the whole group, or probably the most that gets trolled from, you know, my social media and stuff like that. So in my head, I'm constantly, like I said about, you know, when you leave your house, you're always looking over your shoulder. Like, it is a bit like that. You're always thinking, is someone going to comment? What are they going to say? You know, like, you know, I did say in an article before, I've been prank called before and shouted down the phone saying, "You've got 10-year-old tits," like down the phone call to me. And I had to put the phone down. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, firstly, how's someone got my number? And secondly, like, how can someone be so nasty? Like, I know I've got, you know, not the biggest boobs, but even that goes through my head, you know. It's like, God, people are really, really like looking into my body.
Okay, but this is where I've got to have a go at you, because you shouldn't care. Why do you read this stuff? I mean, I get you want the praise and you want the publicity. Why would you waste your time with people who are just trying to wind you up? They probably don't even mean it. That's the irony. They probably don't even care.
Yeah, to be fair, I ignore any trolling I get.
Right.
I do. I never ever. I mean, probably back in the day, a few years back, when I first kind of, you know, was seeing all this stuff, I did reply to a few people, and it didn't get me anywhere. So now I literally I do ignore them, and obviously I have to remember these people like aren't nice people that are like saying these things. I get asked in interviews, you know, like about my body and the trolling. So like obviously it gets brought to my attention a lot more. You know, sometimes I don't even know what someone said about me, like in an article, and, you know, I'll be asked. So then I'm like, oh, really? And I'm like, oh, okay, so I have to talk about it, you know.
Of course.
In normal life, you don't normally look into things, you know, you probably don't even see half the things that are said about you, but I do.
And then we look at the people around you to support you. You've got great family, most importantly, and then you've got management and PRs and all that stuff. Most people haven't. Do you think there has to be new laws put in place to protect people who are vulnerable? Because you might be able to bat it off. I might be able to bat off the critics, but some people will take it personally and it could end up in tragedy. It's a new phenomena, Twitter and social media, and we've got to put laws in to protect people, surely.
No, I do agree. Like, some of the things I see online, the trolling can be vile. Obviously, I'm strong enough to, you know, ignore it, even though some things do get to me. But, you know, there are young girls on there, like my fans. I see them, like, kind of trying to back me up to these trolls. And I think to myself, just don't reply to them, But obviously, you know, some of them aren't as strong as me. And, it can seriously affect them. So it is worrying. I think all trolling, any nastiness on social media they should be completely wiped off Instagram or Twitter straight away. It should be like you should be, I don't know, banned. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how people can make up these fake accounts and write.
What a waste of time.
I know. Very, very sad.
Ridiculous.
People, clearly, there's got nothing going on, obviously.
You know, when I see all this hashtag Me Too and the women's movement that's going on, and I look at someone like you, it's amazing the confidence you have and the success you have. I mean, you don't seem to be affected by anything. You seem to have the confidence to run your own career. You've got a brand new book out. You'll be appearing at the Cornbury Music Festival, which of course is the 14th of July. You'll be on. The festival runs the 13th to the 15th. You've got the TV shows. I mean, you are the new face of Women in 28. You take that seriously, I presume, that responsibility.
Yeah, no, honestly, like when I see, like, you know, the reaction what I get to my music and people that love to watch me on TV and buy my products, like, it is the best feeling in the world, you know. Like, I never thought in a million years it would blow up how it has, and for me to be able to do my music is obviously, you know, the thing I want to do the most. So yeah, I feel very, very privileged, and I'm so grateful that everyone, you know, support. Like, a lot of people do support me, and I love that. I love, you know, interacting with my fans as well, and, you know, getting to know if they want to have new music, and I love chatting to them online. So yeah, it's an amazing thing. I'm very lucky.
You mentioned earlier about your love life and the interest in it. I don't want to talk too specifically about that, but I wonder whether you've come to recognise that that's just going to be it now. We're going to be always interested in who you're dating or not dating. Is that okay with you, or is that intrusive?
No, do you know what? I don't mind. You know, I don't mind things like that. Like, obviously, if, you know, there's articles coming out that can be twisted or they're not nice, you know, you just got to ignore them. I just think as long as you know, we trust each other in our relationship, we need to be strong together and just ignore the stuff online, because that's the thing that will break you down. So yeah, I'm very happy at the moment in my relationship, and obviously I'm not on a reality show to show everything at the moment with my relationship, but I kind of like it that way.
And again, I presume you're like an actress in the West End. Don't read the reviews, because the good ones will just make you have a big head and the bad ones will destroy you. You're better reading nothing, in a way, just getting on with being present and living life.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I rarely, you know, read the comments.
Do you have a life plan about where you go from here? I mean, do you have ideas of having children at a certain point? Because you're clearly career-minded. You're building an empire. It is a sort of balance, isn't it? Family and being successful in this industry.
I mean, obviously, one day I do want children, but right now, it's just not the right time. Like, there's so much more I want to do. You know, like, obviously, I really want to do more with my music. I'm going to be writing an album and releasing loads of, you know, like, cool tracks. So yeah, I can't have a little baby running around, can I? I've got a little dog. She's my baby. She's my baby, and that's going to be it for a long time.
Right.
There's no children yet.
And what about Loose Women? I mean, you were working with Colleen on this Full Monty programme. Do you fancy something like that? Because it seems to me you've got opinions on a lot of things. Yeah,
I mean, like, obviously I love Loose Women. My family are massive fans of Loose Women as well, to watch the telly, and, you know, and it is a really cool show to be on. So I suppose, yeah, it would be quite a cool, like, thing to do. Because I do have big opinions, I suppose. I'm not afraid to say what I think.
That's right.
So I'd probably be quite good on something like that.
I think you would indeed. I mean, do you have plans to do less reality TV and more sort of music stuff? What's your plan? Have you got hopes to be the next Lara Croft, an actress or something like that?
The plan is I'm co-writing with people at the moment. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going in the studio, and I've wrote some really cool tracks. So I'm going to be, like, putting out things for people to see what I've been up to, just up until I release my album, really, because that is what I want to do. That's my dream, and I'm not going to give up till my album hopefully does amazing, and then I can be touring. And yeah, this isn't something that's like a 2-second thing. This is something I've always wanted. So
when you see yourself on a bill with UB40 and Alanis Morissette and Squeeze and Deacon Blue and Amy McDonald and P.P. Arnold, one of my favourite singers ever, and Pixie Lott, need I go on? Do you get a tingle of excitement? Do you get a tingle of fear? Or is this it? Have you made it?
Honestly, the excitement inside just is I can't even explain it. Like when I knew who I was singing with, I was thinking, wow, this is just, I just never imagined this to happen to me, like obviously I've always dreamt of it, but like I have been working so hard the last couple of years to get to this point, so I just think obviously this is the start. And like even like being on stage alongside like someone like Pixie Lott, like when I was at school, like she had some amazing singles out, I always used to listen to them and think, oh my god, like I want to be like her one day. So the fact that I'm actually going to be at a festival performing while Pixie Lott's performing as well is just crazy.
And then we look at the people you're on the bill with. Have you done a festival of this size before? It seems pretty extraordinary.
No, like this is one of my first big gigs. So I did like a mini tour in December, and it went so well. I did like a couple of dates up north and then a couple down where I live, and it was so amazing to have so many people in the audience singing my lyrics back. Like the feeling, like honestly, it made me feel so emotional, like standing on stage. And I actually took a moment and just put the mic out to the audience, and to have everyone singing back the lyrics was just mad, like, especially to one of the songs that I wrote in Nashville. Is like, there's no better feeling than that.
Just talk to me a bit about why you chose country music, or did it choose you? Because it's an interesting choice. You would think you'd go with rap music or cool pop music. I mean, this is proper, credible music that gets you on a bill like Cornbury. It's extraordinary. Did you just find that this was a natural fit for you?
Do you know what? When I was younger, as I said before, I used to go to every single singing audition you can think of with my mum. And I got into a few stages of like a musical, and they actually stopped me. It was an American lady, or maybe she was from Nashville, and she said to me, you can't sing this. And I was like, what? Why? Like I was like, all I wanted was this job. She was like, no, your voice is too country. You really need to look into country. And I was quite young, and obviously back in the day in the UK, country was not big at all. Obviously now it's growing. And even my mum said to me, really? Oh, I love country music. So we started listening to it, and then I started to do a few other auditions. I started to sing a little bit more with a country, I used to sing Eva Cassidy quite a lot. And I know she's not country, but her style music with my voice does actually sound very, very countrified. And then I started looking into Carrie Underwood, and I was like, you know what? This is my route. Like this suits me. And ever since that moment, my singing teachers and everyone I've had has always said to me, you've just got that natural country, like, vibrato in your voice. So I suppose it's kind of a bit of both. Country chose me and I chose country. It's
interesting for me. I mean, I went to America about 10, 15 years ago, and when Garth Brooks came out, that was the point when I went, this can be cool, this can be really fun. And it's mega over there. Are we going to lose you to America? Because it's a natural home, isn't it? They love country music big time.
I'm not going to lie, I fell in love with Nashville when I went. Like, I ever since I've come back, I keep saying, I'm going to go back. Like, even just walking down the road, the feeling, the vibe, everybody's so friendly, and everybody's there for the same thing. I performed at the Bluebird, and I got to meet some other like performers that were just doing exactly what I was doing, and they were telling me, how they do writers' rounds, and they meet up and they write tracks and they just sit and sing, and I was like, oh my god, like I love this life. So I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, my dog's in the room. My little baby's with me.
She's fine if she wants to join in.
So I mean, when I'm older, if I had that chance to be able to, go over to Nashville and come back to London, I would definitely do that.
Do you think there's an appeal because they're not judging you on your past with reality over there? They're judging you on your present of music. Yeah. That must be liberating.
Yeah, it was. When I was actually performing at these places, people were saying, like they were coming over to me and were saying, oh my God, how long have you been, writing for and stuff like this, and what do you do back home? And, you know, obviously I was just saying I love to sing and I do a bit of TV, but it was so refreshing to have people just look at me for me, Megan McKenna, singing, like a country singer. Obviously over here I'm always going to have that I was on reality and I had a big meltdown, but, you know, like, I'm hoping that makes people relate to me more, that, like, I am just a young girl that is, like, wanting to live my dream.
Doing your best.
I hope that they see that.
Yeah. Well, who knew that Megan McKenna could be the new Dolly Parton? Who thought it? That would put the trolls in their place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would.
Hey, listen, congratulations on everything. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been lovely talking to you. Let's do the big plug. You can see Megan McKenna at the Cornbury Music Festival. It's on the 13th, 14th and 15th of July. You'll be performing on the 14th, won't you? Middle day. An amazing bill. UB40, Alanis Morissette, Squeeze, Deacon Blue, Amy McDonald, Jimmy Cliff. I mean, just one legend after the next, and there's your name on the poster. It must be thrilling. Megan, I wish you all the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.